Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be watching me from. My name is George Gugihinga on my show, The Throne Room Herald. It's our second episode today, and today we are covering part 2 of the topic I call The Light. For those who are not with us in the first show, I'd urge you to subscribe and to check out my previous video, which was my very first video, and I'll be covering a 4-part series called The Light, and we'll continue as God gives us the grace. For this particular show, I'll be focusing on topics directly from the heart of God as God gives them and drops into my spirit. I know many in YouTube are doing so many different things. I just want to do the thing that makes me shine the most. And not just me shining, but Him who sent me shining through me. That's the purpose of this YouTube channel. And I'm glad that you're watching. I beg you, don't scroll. Just wait until the very end. It won't be very long. And I assure you, you're going to learn something. So tonight, I'll focus on 3 facts about lights. Well, I know there's so many things that you've heard about the light, and I want to focus on how light relates to us, because the Bible in Matthew chapter 5 calls us the light of the world. Number 1 fact about light. This is me, according to me. Light is meant to serve others. Every kind of light, every kind of bulb, every kind of lamp, it's never for its own self. Think even of your own house, for example. Every time you walk into your house and you switch on the light in the evening, that light doesn't just serve you alone. Actually, that light doesn't know sometimes what it does. Its purpose is just to make sure that it's on. And once it's on, everything in your rooms become visible. You, maybe your spouse, your children if you're married, your parents if you're living with your parents, you're able to see everything all around because a light is on. If each of us are a light, and we are active in our role, whenever we are around, we are not serving our own purpose, but we are serving the purpose of Him who powers us. Something else about lights that is so fascinating is that lights actually never compete. They complement each other. Think, for example, a fog light, a security light, a lamp, a torch. All of them are lights. They are magnificent. When they shine, they are brilliant in their places of shining. Say, for example, runners in a race. You'll find that even when they compete, rather as we call them competition, it is because each light seems to be either darker or dimmer. This is what I'm trying to mean. Like, everyone who comes to a race has been running wherever they're coming from, and they were picked as the best. I'm talking of in terms of international races. Say one representing your country. They are best in your country. But once they come on the international stage now, they meet other lights, other people who are also excelling, and one, of course, has to be the winner. It does not mean number last is completely number last. Number last is actually number 1 somewhere else. What I'm trying to say is this. If, let's say, you are a fog light, you are meant to be someone on the outside. You are meant to indicate where people are supposed to pass, because the fog, it's not just every light that can penetrate through. It is because a fog light is specifically made for that purpose that it serves. You can't compete with a security light. You can't compete with a bulb in the house. You can't compete with a torch, because your purpose is where you are supposed to be. If all of us had that sense that you have what you have, you are who you are, and just because other people seem to be fitted in other places, just because other people seems to be larger, bigger, greater, doesn't mean that you are less of a person. You should never compete with your neighbor. In fact, even if you are a light and you are with other people who are also in the similar position, each of you are unique. Actually, every light has its own jurisdiction. Let me give a good example. Enter into a hall. A hall, just one bulb or one light, no matter how strong it is, even if it's a spotlight, it can't be able to illuminate everything. So in a hall, we need like the same type of light, but evenly distributed. Those people who are masters of wiring and everything, they know how to properly put them in the right place, so that each light, though they are the same, they each have its own like jurisdiction. Buildings are measured in square meters. So that I don't go deep into so many things, I know you're getting the point. And let me focus on the last point now. Every light has its own intensities. Now that we are in this modern world, we have lights that are meant to be dim on purpose. Other purpose as well. Say you are the dim light and you are placed in a particular place where there's a brighter, accurate light, but the owner or the master of this light wants the dim light to be on to highlight a certain aesthetic value. Say, like in a restaurant, it produces a certain mood. Now, if the dim light was to feel bad because it's dim, because the brighter light won't be serving its purpose. Do you know actually lights are not jealous? And if a light is jealous, then it's not in its lampstand at all. Because so long as you're in a place of shining, whether you are 3 of you or 5 of you, in whatever area you are working, in whatever area you are serving, in whatever purpose you have, doesn't make you a lesser or a greater person. This is what light is all about. So long as you are in your place of purpose, that is where you were meant to shine. You are never to compete with anyone. If anything, you are meant to complement the other one. You are never meant to be in a race whereby it's like you are uptight. It's like it's just you alone. Remember, lights serve one purpose, and it is to serve everyone else. It is to illuminate. It is to chase away darkness. It is to provide warmth. And remember, despite your intensity, you are not meant to reach every person. Your capacity as God gave you is for the jurisdiction He has given you. That is what your intensity is all about. If you are meant to be put on at a particular time, at a particular season of other people's lives, don't compete with another person. You know, we have security lights. Sometimes they're only put on to scare away a robber. Sometimes they're put on for someone to go out and throw the garbage. It doesn't mean that light is less powerful. It's just because the master has use for it in that location. So maybe in your company, maybe the boss just wants you to go and spot a thief or do this or the other. I'm just giving a good example. Doesn't mean that you are a bad person. In the hands of another master, you will be serving a different purpose because you are still a light. All a light needs to be is to be faithful. If you are put on, just shine. Don't seek to compete. Don't seek to feel you are lesser or you are not brighter. Just know you are serving your purpose. In part 3 of this series, we are going to be going deeper and focusing on something more about light that you are involved in. I hope you like this show, and I want you to subscribe. I want you to be one of my viewers, my followers, so that at least you can keep on learning. I'm also getting better at shining my own light here on this YouTube channel, and I bless God that you have watched all the way to the end. Thank you so much. Don't forget, subscribe, like, share with your friends, and see you tomorrow or the next day in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless you so much.